Welcome to my Blackboard discussion, getting you ready for this next test. I'm going to take you through some questions. Essentially, these questions are trying to produce from you some kind of response in terms of market structure. Let's see how this works. Consider Pfizer. It has produced a little pill that will increase memory. That's not really true, but for this question, it is called Recall It All. It has a 7-year patent. Okay, so here's our first clue here, right? A patent. Well, we know that's some kind of market barrier, so it's not going to be pure competition. As a matter of fact, in this test, no questions on pure competition. That would be on the final. On that pill, now consider the chemically induced higher memory power market. What am I going to ask for? What is the market structure? What I'm asking for here is it monopoly, monopolistic competition? Is it oligopoly? Why do you make these conclusions? What about the profits? How does it maximize profits? How does it sustain profits? What are the disadvantages and advantages of the market? That's essentially the question format. How do you answer it? It looks something like this. This is a monopoly. Again, this is now where I'm after. Did you get it right? Why did you call it a monopoly? You've got to tell me why, and it's got to make sense. It's got to align with the monopoly market structure because there are no good substitutes. See, so now I know what's going on. I know this person understands this kind of thing. They say it's a monopoly. There are no good substitutes. That's exactly what we'd expect if you were talking about monopoly. There's a patent here granting its exclusive rights. It maximizes profits. How? Marginal revenue equals marginal cost. It'll continue to make profits since no one else can enter the market. That's another key thing about a monopoly. I'd expect to see that. Pfizer and its product Recall It All will maintain profits because they're in a monopoly. It keeps its patent. Disadvantages are, you bet, minimum average total cost. It's not at minimum average total cost. Under allocation of resources, not at allocation efficiency. There's a higher monopoly price, consumers, and so on and so on. You can pause now and take a look at this and read the final answer, but you can see what I'm after. Market structure, did you get it right? Why? Is it aligned with a monopoly? Yes. What are advantages, disadvantages? Now remember, in these questions, I might ask a little interesting questions about cost or something, get you thinking about those graphs. Let's move on now and take a look at how a question for monopolistic competition might look. Something like this, for example. Now what's happening here? Consider Levi jeans. They're a differentiated product. Now what does that mean to you? That means, uh-oh, something's going to come out. I may not tell you exactly that, but something like that. Uh-oh, differentiated product means probably monopolistic competition. There's got some barriers, licensings, etc. Also, the cost of capital can be stopped. Also, the cost of capital can be stopped from entering this market. Considering the jeans market, I'm expecting you to know something about the jeans market. Nothing big, but differentiated product is the key here. What is the jeans industry market structure? Well, we're going to get that answer in a second, but of course that's going to be monopolistic competition. Why do you make such conclusions? Consume it's making economic profits. How does it maximize profits? What can we expect to happen in the future? How might Levi sustain its profits, etc.? And here's the kind of answer I'd be after. I would consider this a monopolistic competition market structure. There you go. Monopolistic competition. Why? Because there's differentiated products. Since there are many jean companies besides Levi's, also there are some barriers to entry, and it's a differentiated product I might add in there as well. It maximizes profits. Marginal revenue equals marginal cost. In the future, we might expect copycat jeans. See, this is the other key. I'm trying to make you to tell me what's going on in these markets and what is the classic example of what might happen. Well, what's going to happen is there's going to be a copycat of some kind. This shifts the demand curve to the left. If you don't say that, I'm not going to give you right all the answer points because this is key to the process. Levi could either differentiate its jeans, another key part of that monopolistic competition market, or advertise. Those two things I'll expect to see. Now, of course, I might talk about costs again or add some different questions, but this is the core of how you understand this market. This is the core of the kind of thing I want to see in your test question answers. And here are the advantages and disadvantages. Again, you can pause, read the question, take a look, see what I've done here. But let's move on for now. After you're done looking at it, start up again and we can take a look at the next kind of question you might get. Well, welcome back. Here it is. There's no surprise here. Let's think about what's going on here. Consider the market for television channel access. Now, what does that mean? There are three different ways you might gain access. One is through a satellite dish TV company, another is through cable, another is through a competing satellite dish. These three companies own 90. Here's a big clue, isn't it? This is a big, big clue. What does this mean? Sorry. What does this mean? These three companies own 98% of this share of the market. Well, that means they own a lot of it. Three companies. This is starting to smell like an oligopoly, isn't it? And you bet. Let's see what it is. What is the television access market structure? How do you make such a conclusion? Same question. Assume all companies are currently pricing relatively high, etc. Same kind of question. What's the answer? The market structure is oligopoly. Why? Since there are some barriers, namely economies of scale and probably some license, also three companies have such a large share of the market. This person certainly knows what they're talking about. Oh, here we go. The game theory payoff matrix model. So when you get the oligopoly question, this is the thing I'm expecting you to use, this game theory payoff matrix model. We'd assume that these companies are making relatively large profits since they are all pricing high, right? Three different ways. Let's see. What would you expect them to price high for a long time? What would be the profits currently or relatively high? So I'm trying to get you to think of that payoff matrix. In this market, using the game idea, companies price according to what their competitors are doing, etc. If you read this answer, you can pause, take a look at what my answer is, and you'll see that what I'm getting you to do is explain that matrix, understand that matrix. Now, these questions are here, certainly worth reviewing, but the main point to this process is to make you understand how this thing is going to work for this particular test and for the final. I'm going to ask you questions. You're going to have to analyze a market. From that analysis, you're going to say, is it pure competition? Is it monopolistic competition? Is it monopoly? Is it oligopoly? Then you're going to give me an analysis using the terms, using the models we've been learning in class. Again, for this test, it's monopolistic competition, monopoly, and oligopoly. For the final, it's going to be supply and demand, pure competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, and oligopoly. I think I've said enough for now. Good luck on that test this week, and I'll see you in class. I don't know what I'm going to do with discussion question, but the last 2 weeks of this class, we're going to start applying some of this stuff to some of these bizarre things going on in the real world. See you then. Bye for now.